Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is Ghoul MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock. And, gentlemen, tonight, well, this is it. This is the final road. All roads now lead to the Royal Rumble, and we will have that tomorrow night from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. But before we got to Alamo Dome in San Antonio, we had a Smackdown live event that was from Laredo, Texas, at the Sammy's Auto Arena, and we're gonna do it. So we're gonna start it off with Karrion Kross going one on one with Rey Mysterio, and when it was all said and done, the winners of the bout, 7 minutes and 25 seconds, was Rey Mysterio. So, all right, I'm gonna say this: little surprised that he goes over on Karrion Kross, and more importantly, getting I guess you could say it was a crucifix pin, got a shock pin, a 1, 2, 3 on Kross, but solid opener, good match. I would say about maybe 2.5 stars. It was 725, so short match, but at the end of the day, good matchup, great momentum for Ray going into the Royal Rumble tomorrow night. There's really nothing more to add. So, Anthony Florio, it's yours. Ray coming out with a huge victory over Karrion Kross.
How many minutes and 25 seconds?
7 minutes and 25 seconds.
7:25. All right. I just wanted to be sure on that. 2.5 to 2 3/4 of a star for me. Let's see. Yep. Just give me one moment here. All right. I'll tell you what. An overconfident Karrion Kross learned the hard way tonight that underestimating the legendary Rey Mysterio will not end favorably. Despite dominating the future first ballot Hall of Famer with his size and strength advantage and withstanding his trademark 619 finisher, Kross allowed his ego to doom him as Mysterio countered a power slam attempt into a crucifix pin for the win. The match was on the shorter side, with most of it taking place during the break, but was solid enough. Mysterio winning feels like the means to propel the feud forward, but one has to wonder when we are going to see the creative and booking decisions reflect Triple H's belief in Karrion Kross. Thus far, he has been fairly consistently involved in significant programs, but has yet to definitively win anything. This did not help that perception, unfortunately. And now the question becomes whether that eventual win will come too late to win the audience over. Hopefully that's not the case, because he has the potential to be a top-tier heel on either Raw or SmackDown. He just needs that steady creative behind him to go along with his presence and unique presentation. And during the break, Kross caught Mysterio mid-dive and slammed him onto the ring apron. And Rey Mysterio shrugged off interference from Scarlett and delivered a 619 and a top rope splash. But Kross kicked out at 2. Solid match here. 2.5 to 2 3/4 of a star. Would have liked to have seen a little more, but for what we got, it was solid, but not overly spectacular. So, not much more to say here. Michael Bullock, Phenom, come on in. Rey Mysterio defeating Karrion Kross, 7 minutes 25 seconds. Crucifix pin, a little short for our liking, but at the end of the day, solid, not overly spectacular though.
Yeah, I thought it was a fine match, but like you said, I mean, it wasn't really that amazing, but yeah, but it was a surprising outcome. I mean, I thought maybe Karrion Kross was gonna get one over on Rey Mysterio, but no, I mean he definitely got one over on Karrion Kross here, so it gives Rey Mysterio some momentum going into the men's Royal Rumble match tomorrow night. Of course, not only is Rey in it, but Karrion Kross is definitely is in it too. So these two will definitely cross paths again tomorrow night. So 2.5 stars is my rating. So let's move on, Fletch.
All right, next thing that we had on the show, guys, we had some promo stuff, leading into the Royal Rumble. We had a lot of guys. We had New Day in this one. We had The Miz. Miz cutting a promo saying that he was going to win the Royal Rumble. New Day interrupted. Lashley comes out and starts destroying things in the area. Well, Lashley comes out, starts destroying everything, and then basically calling out Brock Lesnar, saying, you're the reason why I didn't become the U.S. champion. You stuck your nose where it didn't belong. Be careful what you wish for, bro, because someone was lurking. A beast was definitely there. And
well, here comes the pain.
Kaboom! And here went the pain. Brock Lesnar hops the barricade, enters the ring. They start going at it. Lashley and Brock. Brock gets the F5. And then Brock says, I'm in the Royal Rumble tomorrow night. Uh-oh. You already know the lines are drawn for this one. Even Vegas started freaking out the minute they heard Lesnar's name in there. As a matter of fact, I'll even go as far to say it. Lesnar has now put himself in the top 5 to possibly win the Royal Rumble match tomorrow night for the men. He was not even considered, but now that he's put his name in the hat and in the ring, his stock has risen over the last few hours, and now he's in the betting line as a 3 to 5, number 3 to top 5 selection to possibly win the Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes is odds-on favorite. Seth Rollins is the second in the list. The third is now Brock Lesnar. He is now in the mix to possibly win the Royal Rumble. He has won the Rumble twice. He could be one of a few men. Actually, the only other man that I can ever remember who's won 3 Royal Rumbles was Stone Cold Steve Austin. He is the only man in this era that has won 3 Royal Rumble matches in his career. So, does Brock do it? You'll have to wait till later on tonight to find out our predictions for the Royal Rumble match. But open form on this one, gentlemen, jump on in. Brock has thrown his name into the ring. Ooh, if this Rumble could not get any more spicier, you got the bees now in this.
It definitely does add some spice to it, Fletch. I mean, with Brock Lesnar being in there, and whenever he does come out, the whole ring is gonna, whoever's in there, all those superstars are gonna be targeting Brock Lesnar because they view him as a threat. And I mean, like you said, he's won the Royal Rumble twice, 2003, and of course last year. And he's gunning for 3 in a row, and he's got some unfinished business with a certain tribal chief if he does win it. But I think we all know who we think is going to be the odds-on favorite. Well, you'll get our thoughts when we preview the men's Royal Rumble match during our Royal Rumble preview. But yeah, many people, are thinking that Cody Rhodes is the favorite, but I think Brock Lesnar may have something to say about that, especially after the damage he did tonight. So, I got really nothing more to say. Florio, do you got any thoughts?
I do. It is not necessarily a surprise that Brock Lesnar will appear in the Royal Rumble match, given the fact that he has been prominently featured on the event poster from day one. It does enhance the match's star power exponentially and provides a platform for him and Bobby Lashley to advance their feud. Kofi Kingston gave Theory a rundown of his favorite Austins, Creed, Stone Cold Steve, and Texas. And Wood saying, that's weird. Wood said after calling Theory by his first name, mostly because Wood's real name is Austin. A chip, maybe? Woods taunted Miz after he forgot what was on his shoulder. And Lesnar said after laying Lashley out for the second time this week, see you tomorrow, buddy. So, yeah. I probably would say by default, this was the segment of the night. And the star power definitely gets added, goes up sky high because of Brock Lesnar. But, I mean, I know he definitely should be considered a favorite. Absolutely he should, especially because he won it last year. But I don't think he wins it again this year. I don't. God forbid if he does, look out. Look out below, because we do not want to see him and Roman. Him and Roman, that's done. It's all about him and Lashley now, as I said on Monday night on Ridiculously Raw. MF and I agreed on that. So, and I'm sure 4 days later we still feel the same way. I know I do. So, but we'll get more into that when we preview the men's Royal Rumble match in a little while. So not much more for me to say. MF, it was the segment of the night for me. The star power for the Rumble, the excitement of the men's Rumble goes up sky high, especially because of this Brock Lesnar. So, and him and Lashley, when they collide again tomorrow night, there will be some shaking. So MF, Bullock and I had our 2 cents. What says you?
Yeah, this is gonna be very interesting to watch. It's gonna be quite a Royal Rumble match to say the very least. But I mean, it is gonna be whatever it needs to be done, and there's really nothing more to add there. So yeah, it's gonna be one hell of an event. So with Lashley there, who knows how that plays out? Brock definitely is gonna do whatever it can to win the Royal Rumble, and yeah, there's really nothing more to add. So we're just gonna move right on along and to the next thing that we did have here. So after all that chaos that ensued, let's see. What happened here? Oh, okay. It just kind of booted me out. Probably took a little too long on that. All right, sorry about that, folks. Let's see. There you go. All right. So then we had Lacey Evans basically in a return fight. It was just a showcase fight. She wins in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. It was all right. I'm not gonna say anything else, but I will say this: she's got a new finishing maneuver, boys. She hits her with the woman's right. All right, that's her old finisher. But Michael Bullock, she's got the camel clutch now. She's humbling people with the camel clutch. Like I said, it was a showcase fight, and not bad for Lacey Evans. First time out.
Yeah, not a bad showcase fight, but I saw a little something that really irked me. Lacey Evans, when she made her entrance, she went to high five someone. Well, that someone that she faked out the high five to, well, that person has Down syndrome. That to me was the wrong thing to do. I mean, if it was anybody else, fine, whatever. But to somebody with Down syndrome, I'm sorry, that to me is an absolute no-no. I mean, just think. I mean, Fletch, you know friends with Down syndrome and how excited they are to, especially whether it's meeting a superstar or even a celebrity. They look for a high five or something. But I mean, I understand it's part of Lacey Evans' heel character, but like I said, if it was someone else, like a regular person, fine. But if it's someone with Down syndrome, no. That's where I cross the line with that. That's just something I really wanted to get off my chest. But yeah, I mean, the Cobra Clutch was definitely a good add to it. So hopefully, we'll see more from this. So I really got nothing more to add. So that's just something I really wanted to get off my chest, Fletch, as I give it to you.
All right. Look, I get it. I definitely feel where you're coming from, Bullock. I I get it. Nuclear heat, that definitely is going to draw some ire and some eyebrows on the fans, especially for something like that. I believe that if the I'll bet you anything outside of the ring that if she sees that same fan, I think she's a lot different. I think she was just playing in character. I get it. I understand it. I know where you're coming from, Bullock. But a lot of the times you can't.
I mean, you get where I'm coming from because of. I mean, I have a sister with Down syndrome. I mean,
yes.
especially,
yes.
especially, I know a lot of people with Down syndrome, especially through Special Olympics. I mean,
yes, and that's where I totally get it. And what I was gonna try to say was sometimes in wrestling you need to be a character, and I think it's one of those where I think it was kind of a bad look by the camera guys to put that on Lacey and have her have that kind of a moment there because it's gonna create a firestorm, an unnecessary firestorm in my mind. And what Michael Bullock is saying is 1000% correct. What happened was very wrong. That should never have happened. That should never have been, something like that. I get what Lacey did because she was trying to do it in a way to garner that negative heat. So I wasn't thinking of it as Bullock was thinking of it because I know Bullock very well. And I know his intentions are 1000%. So that's why I'm not, it was just a bad look. And that was a bad situation that Lacey got caught into. Now, I haven't heard anything from social media about it. So that's why I didn't think about it until Bullock brought it up. And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that did actually happen. Oh boy. So I get it. So what Bullock is saying is 1000% accurate. I'm not going to judge him on that. I'm not even going to call him out. I can't. I got no right. For me, I got no standing on this one. What Bullock is saying is 1000% correct. So I'm not even going to challenge him or try to play devil's advocate with this. I can't go there. So I wasn't even going to think about the match or even consider or talk about the match. I was just going to try to move on from it. But Bullock brought it to the forefront, so there's nothing I can do about it. He brought it to the forefront, so we have to react to that now. Like I said, very unfortunate, to say the very least. And like I said, I even think WWE, and I know Hunter and I know the guys in the back, they'll probably say the same thing. Like, that was actually pretty bad. So you might want to try to find that fan and we'll do something to make it up. I'll bet you anything WWE is going to compensate that fan for that. I'm pretty sure they'll compensate the fan for what happened here tonight. So he'll probably get to meet some of the wrestlers after the show tonight. I'm pretty sure of that. So WWE will definitely look into that and take care of that youngster, that individual.
And especially since they're proud partners with Special Olympics.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure WWE will cover it. They'll get somebody. Somebody probably got into Hunter's ear, or Hunter probably saw that and probably like, no, who's that fan? Where is he at? We need to compensate him. So no, I'm pretty sure Hunter will do something. He's one of those people that really stands up about Special Olympics. I know that for sure. So nothing more to say. Anthony, I mean, It's yours if you want to talk about it, or we could move on. So it's up to you.
I 100% agree with everything that was said here, no doubt about it. And it's the Cobra clutch. It was not the Iron Sheik's camel clutch. It was Sergeant Slaughter's Cobra clutch. That's what it was. So as far as but I do want to say this though, when it comes to the Lacey Evans character, she once again created herself, and if tonight's reintroduction is any indication, the Back to Basics character is not likely to fit her any better than the last couple of incarnations. I mean, she squashes this Jasmine Allure with that Cobra clutch. She cut a generic heel promo in which she vowed to win the Women's Royal Rumble. Fine and dandy. There was nothing inherently wrong here. There was just nothing that leapt off the screen and made viewers think, wow, I can't wait to see where Lacey Evans goes next. That's not her fault. She's been damaged by inconsistent booking and its attempts to shoehorn her into different gimmicks. Nothing has worked as well as the Sassy Southern Belle character, and before that damage proves irreparable, it may be in her best interest maybe to return to that gimmick. And she retained her grasp of the clutch after the bell, then cut a promo in which she revealed her entry in the Royal Rumble match. Match was a dud, I'll be honest with you. There was nothing remotely exciting about it. And I 100% agree with Bullock and MF and their stand on it. I mean, I take that very seriously myself, being the man of good faith that I've always been and will be, especially nowadays. So, yeah, that was definitely a raw deal for that youngster, and I would have been the first one to make it up to that youngster. I would have been the first one, believe that. So there's no doubt about that. I would have gone out of my way to brighten that one tonight. No doubt about it. So make it up to them for whenever they come back to Laredo. I'm sure they'll be back in Laredo again soon enough. And we would definitely figure something out to make that up. So, but in the other bit of serious business, MF, like I said, it's not Lacey Evans' fault. It's just that she's just been saddled with these gimmicks, and in that front, I feel bad because nobody gives a damn, nobody cares, and that the Lacey Evans has been getting a lot of criticism on social media, and some others here, and some other YouTubers here. So she's not very well received. That's all there is to say on that. So at this point, before we move on, the best way to describe Lacey Evans nowadays, she's got that X-Pac heat. I'm sorry to say, she's got that go away heat. No one likes her. No one cares. So I'm sorry. I just had to be the man who tells it like it is. And that's it. So with that, we got tag team tournament action, MF, or do we?
Well, yeah. So it was supposed to have been Hit Row versus Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, but before that match even got off the ground, McIntyre and Sheamus were making their way to the ring. The Viking Raiders came out and jumped them. You're just like, wait, what? What the heck are they doing here? Well, they jumped out, they attacked, and unfortunately, what happened was the Viking Raiders basically cost Sheamus and Drew McIntyre an opportunity at the tournament. So they're like, well, we can't. So Hero comes out, and they're thinking, well, if that's going to happen, we should get an automatic buy into the finals. I mean, they're unfit to fight. We should be going to the finals. No questions asked. Well, Adam Pearce is like, well, I could do that, but I'm not going to do that. I got a tag team, and they're here, and they're going to fight in place of McIntyre and Sheamus. And so the opponents are, for Hit Row, Ricochet and his tag team partner. Hit it!
Roar!
Roar!
Braun Strowman is the second partner. When it was all said and done, winners of the bout in 5 minutes and 55 seconds and advancing to the finals of the Smackdown Tag Team Tournament. It is Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, what a turn of events. Ricochet and Strowman gets the golden ticket, and now they get to fight in the finals.
The idea that McIntyre and Sheamus gave up their spot in the tournament is ridiculous. It is insulting to the tournament itself. If nothing else, because it suggests the tag titles are secondary to getting revenge on Eric and Ivar. It essentially negates everything that the competition is about. Maybe that was not the intention, perhaps Pierce flubbed the explanation, but it was not great at all. Strowman and Ricochet filling in at least makes sense given their history with Hit Row. But again, why a team that was never in the tournament to start with would be allowed entry in the semifinals is dumbfounding. Given the other two teams on the other side of the bracket, the final is likely to be badass, but it should not exist in the first place. But thankfully, the match we got was at least solid enough. Anna Pierce said no one is getting a pass into the finals. And that's really all there was to say on that. So 550, I believe that's what MF said the time was. So I'll give it about 2.5 for the effort. So not much more for me to add on this. But Michael Bullock, McIntyre, and Sheamus bow out of the tournament because they wanted revenge on the Viking Raiders for the attack. So their loss was Strowman and Ricochet's gain. And now Strowman and Ricochet are all of a sudden now one win away from becoming the number one contenders for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, as they'll be in the finals against either Imperium or Legado del Fantasma next week.
Yeah, and Hit Row definitely thought that they were going to get a pass into the finals, but basically Adam Pearce is like, no. You have to earn your way into the finals, and that's where he found Ricochet and Braun Strowman, and now the two of them are one win away from being number one contenders for the SmackDown Tag Team title. So I'll give it about 2.5 for the effort. So nothing more to say. It's yours, Fletch.
All right, and then we do go into the other part of the show. So next up, we did have after all that went down, then we had the other semifinal match one. Joaquin Wild and Cruz del Toro representing Legado del Fantasma going up against Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser representing Imperium. Winners of the bout, 12 minutes, 15 seconds, advancing to the final to face Strowman and Ricochet. Ludwig Kaiser, Giovanni Vinci, Imperium. They beat Legado de Fantasma. Michael Bullock. Oh my goodness, what a match.
Yeah, what a match this was. I'll give this about 3.5 stars. And this was a very good match when you got the high flying abilities of Legado del Fantasma and the power, of course, of Imperium. I mean, as well, the fighting stuff, the fighting style that they bring. So yeah, so whoever comes out, so now it's gonna be Strowman and Ricochet against Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci. I'm interested to see what goes down with that. So 3.5 stars. It is yours, Fletch.
MF, are you there?
Fletch, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. No, guys, I just want to say that this was fight of the night. 3.5 stars, great matchup, 2 top-notch tag teams, great battle, great war. Everything was amazing about it. Obviously, I'm a little down in the dumps that that it was a knockout, that we did have that it ended up being a costly one for Legado del Fantasma. That means when Legado loses, that means Zelina doesn't feel good. When she doesn't feel good, I don't feel good. But that's how that goes. But great matchup, unbelievable battle. I mean, it was one of those great matches. It was incredible. So really nothing more to add. Anthony Florio, fight of the night for me. It's yours.
Fight of the night for me too. 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. This was a vastly superior match to the other semifinal with great action from all. Cruz Del Toro in particular, really shined late and had the crowd behind him and his partner, despite their status as villains. Imperium winning is fine, but it sets up a match with Braun Strowman and Ricochet that has already been overdone in recent months, including a Miracle on 34th Street fight that should have ended it back over the holidays. WWE officials should examine the idea of Legado del Fantasma being babyfaces moving forward, if nothing else. They were great here, and the idea of Zelina Vega as a babyface while retaining the same attitude would be intriguing. They succeeded in that role late in their NXT run, so we know it is not a tall task. Letting them run on that side of the roster against the Viking Raiders, Imperium, Los Lotarios, and others would result in some great in-ring work, while Santos Escobar could thrive too. And like I said, the crowd surprisingly got behind Legado del Fantasma despite their designation as heels on television. And Giovanni Vinci appeared to injure his left knee during the Super Press Slam as he smashed his knee into the mat. So definitely something to keep an eye on. But other than that, 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. Fight of the night. Fantastic match. 2 teams formerly of NXT getting their chance to go out there and shine. And that is a great credit, of course, to Papa H, no doubt. So
yeah.
3.5, 3 3/4 fight of the night. So there isn't much more to say except MF. We have one last order of business that we need to address before we get to the Alamo Dome tomorrow night.
Yeah, and it was a 1-on-1. It was Solo Sikoa versus Kevin Owens. The fight ends in an apparent disqualification. Well, the reason why? It's simple. Sami Zayn showed up and was at ringside. He didn't get involved, but he was at ringside, and that led to the DQ finish. Now, some people are gonna say, "Wait a minute, Sami defied orders. Why was he out there? Roman's gonna be pissed." I think he's gonna be more angry at Jey Uso, because Jey Uso kind of triggered this. Okay, so what happened was, during an interview, the lovely Kayla Braxton was talking with Kevin Owens. The Usos came out, and they were gonna try to, they were just jaw-jacking more than anything else. So a little brouhaha ensued. Adam Pearce came out and no, this ain't going down. You two, get out of here. You're barred from the building. I'm throwing you out. So Jey Uso's like, "Brother, we need you. Are you still in town? I need a favor." Well, he called in the favor. Sami showed up, much to the delight of the crowd in Laredo. But I know somewhere Roman Reigns might be having that twitchy eye right about now. He's probably not too happy and might be spitting kittens, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, nothing more to say. Unfortunately, I got to give this an NA. Automatic NA, no rating. I can't call it here. I I believe this should have gone to no. I was the lead. You finished off, so I lead off. So yeah. So it's an NA for me, automatic NA. I got no rating on this one. Anthony, it's yours.
I think it was more of a no contest than a DQ, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Because they didn't ring the bell or any of that. So the match was a good physical fight. Kevin Owens can absorb a ton, allowing Solo Sikoa to show off. By the time the Zayn interference came and the match transitioned into an angle, it accomplished everything it hoped to, proved Kevin Owens' toughness, and left fans questioning where Sami Zayn's allegiances lie. Are they to Kevin Owens or the Bloodline? Maybe it is more complicated than that. Maybe his allegiances lie only with Jey Uso at this point, after the events of Monday night. The fact that there are different possibilities entering tomorrow night's show adds a sense of intrigue to the contest, despite its otherwise foregone conclusion nature. One thing is for sure, the more Solo Sikoa gets to work with guys like Kevin Owens, the better he will be in the long run, and the more likely he will be to succeed in whatever role he finds himself. Dismay painted Sami Zayn's face in the closing moments of the show as he realized he not only failed, but did so in a fashion that outed his appearance on the show to Reigns, who was surely watching from New York as he prepared for his Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon appearance tonight. And Kevin Owens cut an intense final promo into the camera on Roman Reigns, promising to bring everything he has tomorrow night. The match was an NA, but it was a very good match, like MF said and I said earlier. So good physical fight, as we expected. So there isn't much more for me to say here. So Michael Bullock, fight obviously is an NA, no doubt about that. But it was a great match up until the ending, and what a way to close it out before we get to the Alamo Dome tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good match, but until the ending. So yeah, I'm with you. I mean, this is it's definitely an NA, no doubt about it. And yeah, I mean, yeah, Roman is probably not going to be happy with what went down, and yeah, and I'm with Fletcher. I think he's going to be more pissed with Jey Uso than Sami Zayn, but somehow I get this feeling that he's going to be pissed at Sami Zayn when it comes to this, because you know that it's only a matter of time before the Bloodline kicks Sami Zayn to the curb. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
Anthony Florio, you lead off on the overall review, and then we'll get into AEW Rampage.
I'm leaning towards about 7 out of 10. I mean, it wasn't the best show, to be honest with you. I thought Raw's 30 was better, to be honest with you. That tag team semifinal match with Imperium and Legado del Fantasma, that was the fight of the night, no question about it. Owens and Sikoa, definitely the second best fight of the night. We did have a couple of solid angle advancement here, but I kind of felt there was a little bit too much reliance on the video packages, to be honest with you. I kind of wish they would have toned that down a little bit. I'm like, I get it, I understand, and I mean the one video that I was fine with them showing was that by the numbers video that they've been known to do over the years. So I'm always intrigued by those, and they did a good job on that one, like they've always done since they started doing those way back when. But go out of your way to see the Imperium Legado match, the Owens Sikoa match, and there was something else, and even maybe even Rey Mysterio and Karrion Kross, I guess, but I think this was more of a solid 7 out of 10 here. It was a solid show, not as overly spectacular as Monday night was, but it was a solid go-home show, and that's all there is to it. So, Michael Bullock, your overall thoughts on this go-home show for the Royal Rumble, and we'll give it to MF, and then we'll get into Rampage.
Yeah, 7 out of 10 for me. I mean, I thought it was good. I mean, I'll say it was good, not great, but I mean, yeah, so there's really nothing more for me to say. You pretty much touched on it. So, Fletch, let's get to you and then get to Rampage.
7 out of 10. Totally agree with everything you guys have just said. I thought it was a solid show. Could have been better, absolutely, but I really think that they did a serviceable job, to say the very least, with everything that went down here. So I really got nothing more to add here. So guys, here we go. It's time that we jump off. Now we're going into AEW Rampage, and here we go. So we started off AEW Rampage here tonight, and we started off with a one-on-one match. It was Adam Hangman Page going up against Wheeler Yuta. Hangman Adam Page wins the match in 14 minutes and 57 seconds. Um, this was a very good opener. Hot start, great action. They came out firing on all cylinders with this one. This was a really good matchup, great performance to say the very least. I really got nothing bad to say. This was one of my fights of the night, probably the fight of the night for me. This was easily 4 to 4.25 stars. Anthony Florio, it is yours.
4 to 4.25 stars. Couldn't agree more. What we saw tonight was a highly physical battle between two young guys who are both at the top of their game. Hangman had a small size advantage, but not enough to make a huge difference. For the most part, these men were evenly matched. Neither competitor was in control for more than a minute or two at a time. Even though this was just a standard singles bout, they were fighting as if a title was on the line. Even though having champions lose non-title matches is never ideal, nobody was surprised when Hangman scored the win. He just defeated Jon Moxley recently, so it would have been a weird booking decision to have him lose to the least experienced member of the Blackpool Combat Club. Using Jon Moxley's own paradigm shift to score the win was a nice touch to end the match and keep the feud between Moxley and Hangman going. Yuta's drop kick at the beginning of the match was great. Some of the chops in this match were pretty stiff. You could see both men getting a little red in the chest. The first tope suicida Yuta hit was executed perfectly, and the landing to the German suplex on the floor was a little rough, but both men appeared to be fine. 4 to 4.25 stars. I could say this was the best Rampage match of 2023 so far, if I'm going to be honest with you. It was that good. So fight of the night here. So Michael Bullock, what a way to start it off, as Hangman Adam Page gets a lot more than he bargained for from Wheeler Yuta, but still, I mean, outcome was never in doubt, but Wheeler Yuta puts on another banger here. Hangman wins, and that gives him some major momentum going into that rubber match with Jon Moxley this Wednesday night on Dynamite.
Yeah, this definitely gives Hangman Adam Page some momentum going into that match with Jon Moxley on Dynamite this Wednesday night. So yeah, 4.25 stars. I agree with the rating here. I mean, this was a banger of a match. I mean, hats off to Wheeler Yuta, but the outcome was never a doubt. So there's nothing more to say. Let's move on, Fletch.
All right, with that said, we do indeed move on. The next thing that we did have on the show, it was a 6-man tag team fight, as it was Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh. They went up against the best friends, Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, and Danhausen. When it was all said and done, winners of the bout in 10 minutes and 2 seconds was Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, and Satnam Singh. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
It went a little too fast for me there, MF. What was the time on that again?
10 minutes and 2 seconds.
10 minutes and 2 seconds. All right. All right. The big man, Satnam Singh, was doing the usual Giants routine of no selling almost everything, but considering the size difference between him and his opponents, it was appropriate. This match had a handful of great moments, but as a whole, it was somewhat forgettable. It wasn't designed to steal the show. All it needed to do was give Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh a win, and it did just that. Singh ended up scoring the win for his team over Danhausen after Double J used the Golden Globe Award he stole from Paul Walter Hauser to hit him behind the ref's back. Danhausen, in my opinion, is the perfect comedy wrestler. even the most serious wrestling fans can find some of his antics funny. Exception of me, of course. And honestly, I feel he would be a perfect fit. He would have been a perfect fit for the McMagma regime. No question about that. McMagma would have a field day with this guy. No doubt about it. The way Trent Beretta sold the Irish whip into the corner from Satnam Singh was excellent. And I gotta ask, how does Sanjay Dutt keep that pencil on his ear when he is moving around so much? It's kind of impressive, honestly. But he did get his. He got an orange punch from Orange Cassidy that made Tony Schiavone go nuts. And I know Michael Bullock would have done the exact same thing that Tony Schiavone did on commentary.
Oh yeah, that pretty boy douchebag got what was coming to him, because as I've told these guys so many times, I cannot stand Sanjay Dutt.
I think I think we have a new lame duck man, huh?
Oh yeah, I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'd rather have Sami Zayn than this douche.
Yeah, Hammenegger. So there isn't much more for me to say on this. 10:02, or yeah, about 10:02, I think he said. So I'll give it about 3.25 for the effort. So really not much for me to add here. So not much more for me to add. So MF, your thoughts on all this?
Oh, what about me?
Oh, Bullock, yes.
Bullock still has to go. Go ahead,
yeah.
Mikey.
Long day, and I'm excited about the Rumble. Let's go.
Yeah, 3 stars for me on this one. I mean, it was fine for what it was. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. I'll give it to you, Fletch.
Yeah, I mean it was an alright match. It was pretty good. So yeah, I agree with everything you guys have said. So we'll just move right on along. Next up we have Powerhouse Hobbs. It was a showcase fight. He crushes his opponent in a minute and 11 seconds. Main event of the evening. It was Jamie Hayter versus Ima Sakurai. And it was an eliminator match. Winner of the bout, 12 minutes. 31 seconds, the AEW Women's World Champion, Jamie Hayter. So, Michael Bullock, you lead off on the Rampage main event.
Yeah, this was the second best fight of the night for me. I'll give this about maybe 3.25 stars on this one. I mean, this was a good main event here to close out this edition of Rampage, and it definitely continues the momentum for the AEW Women's World Champion Jamie Hayter. So there's really nothing more to say. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, 3.25 stars, no doubt about it. Incredible main event. I gotta say it, probably one of the better women's matches we've seen recently on AEW. They're really, like, if you want to talk about putting an effort out there, they really turned it up a notch. And they really looked really good. So I really got nothing bad to say. I thought they did an incredible job with it. Anthony, final thoughts, and it's yours.
Second best fight of the night, 3.5 stars. Emi Sakura has never been booked on AEW television on a consistent basis, but she has appeared many times on Dark and Elevation. She has a long history in Japan and is well respected in this business. So if anyone was wondering why she was getting a match with the champion, it's because she had earned it. Jamie Hayter tried to establish some dominance early on with a show of power, but Sakura was not about to go down without a fight. She got right back to her feet and took the champ out of the ring. Match had a great pace and allowed both women to look like the tough competitors they are. This was a lot of fun and definitely made Sakura look better than she ever has in an AEW ring. The champ was able to overcome some of her opponent's biggest moves before hitting the Haterade for the win. The way the crowd reacts whenever Hayter's music hits is awesome. Sakura's crown looks like it would be hard to travel with. It would take so much room in any travel bag. Sakura slapped the taste out of Hayter's mouth. You could hear the crowd collectively gasp at how loud the impact was. The way Sakura let go of the surfboard submission by popping Hayter into the air so she landed on her back was great. The delayed double underhook backbreaker from Sakura was the best spot in the match. And both women were red after hitting each other with some stiff chops. 3.5 stars, maybe even 3.75. Second best fight of the night, no question about it. So I believe I give it to you, MF, because I think Bullock led off on this one. So yeah, so it goes to MF. So all right, MF, we'll start the overall thoughts with you before we get into our main event, which is our Royal Rumble preview.
Yeah, so overall review, I'll say it 7.5 to 8 out of 10. I really thought it was a really good show, so nothing more to say. Incredible. Uh, th- Three quality matches. We had a bad main event. There's really nothing more to say. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for me. Anthony, it's yours.
It wasn't the main event that was bad. It was the match before that was bad. The Powerhouse Hobbs squash, that was bad. But other than that, 3 quality matches, like MF said. Yeah, I'll probably say this was the best Rampage of the year so far. 8 out of 10. It's hard to believe. We usually never go that high for a Rampage show. But when you have, but the Hangman Wheeler Yuta match alone is the reason why we get the high praise. And then a great women's main event with Jamie Hayter and Emi Sakura. And then even that 6-man match wasn't all that bad either. So that was about 3 stars. We only had that one dud, but if it wasn't for that, it would have been a damn near perfect show tonight. So 8 out of 10 for me. Bullock, take it home, and then we'll get into our preview of the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, 8 out of 10 for me as well. So yeah, 3 quality matches. I mean, you only had one dud here with the Powerhouse Hobbs. So yeah, I mean, it was a really good show. But yeah, there's really nothing more to say. And Fletch, before we get to our Royal Rumble preview, remember earlier in the show when I addressed the whole thing where Lacey Evans embarrassed the young kid with Down syndrome?
Yes.
Well, I did see something on the Dirt Sheet Radio Facebook page, and they did make it up to him, and it was Kevin Owens who gave the kid one of his T-shirts.
There you go.
Yeah, kudos to them. And it's only fitting that Kevin Owens would be the one to do it, because doesn't he have isn't one of his children have an intellectual disability?
Yes, I do believe one of his children does do it. I knew it too. I kind of sensed it. I knew WWE was going to do something about it, and the perfect guy to do it is KO. It's totally within his character, totally within in that area, and because of how close he is, because I think one of his kids is actually does have a disability. I'm not surprised it was Owens. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure he that he would not be the only one. But yeah, I knew it. I like I said, WWE knew they knew what they were doing.
Yeah. So now let's get into the Royal Rumble.
All right. Well, we got nothing more to say. We're getting into the Royal Rumble event that will be held tomorrow night from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas, live on Peacock in the United States, the WWE Network around the world, and I do believe that some pay-per-view providers actually will also be showing the event tomorrow night. But with that said, we started it off with there's 5 matches altogether, 3 ordinary matches, and the 2 Royal Rumble matches. As always, we leave the Rumble matches at the end. But to get to the 3 qualifying matches or preliminary matches, we start off with the Pitch Black match sponsored by Mountain Dew. It will be LA Knight versus Bray Wyatt one-on-one. I'm going to go with Bray Wyatt. I mean, I really feel like Bray Wyatt is going to win the matchup. I don't really think there's really much more for us to go here. So give me Bray Wyatt. Anthony, I give it to you.
Yeah, right there with you, MF. WWE has stretched out Wyatt's on-camera in-ring return far too long. Fortunately, the interactions between Bray Wyatt and LA Knight have mostly been gold. The only circumstance in which Wyatt loses this match is some weird Uncle Howdy-related swerve. The match is tailor-made for him after all. Knight doesn't need the win here. Knight was afforded an opportunity to showcase his world-class mic skills after shedding that awful Max Dupree gimmick. Expect Wyatt to win rather convincingly and move on to a bigger feud, allowing Knight the space to grow into a fantastic mid-card act. So I'm with you, MF. Bray Wyatt wins the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. Michael Bullock, make it unanimous?
Yeah, I'm gonna make it unanimous, and I'm gonna go with Bray Wyatt to win this one. And hopefully after this, both men can move on to better things. So nothing more to say. Let's move on, Fletch.
All right, next up we do have is the Raw Women's title on the line. The champion, Bianca Belair, goes up against the challenger and former champion, Alexa Bliss. Anthony, it is yours.
Yeah, big time women's title match here. Bianca Belair is approaching 1 year as the Raw Women's Champion. It has been a well-deserved run after her initial run as the Smackdown Women's Champion was cut criminally short in favor of a returning Becky Lynch at SummerSlam 2021. Alexa Bliss has not returned quite to her former glory, and Belair remains a fantastic ambassador for the company. I recommend the promotion keep the title on Belair, let her celebrate the 1 year anniversary of her reign at WrestleMania, and then take the fall for a certain mommy on the grandest stage. Wink, wink. So that's all there is for me to say on this. MF, I know I said I would never doubt your any of your predictions for the most part, and I'm not doubting it. Absolutely not. But for me, I got to go with my gut on this one. My gut tells me Bianca retains, and I think she goes into Mania this time around as the champion. But I think her run will end at WrestleMania, and I'll have more on that when we preview the Women's Royal Rumble match in a short. So for me, the winner and still the Raw Women's Champion, the EST, Bianca Belair. Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm with you, Florida, on this one. I got Bianca Belair winning and retaining the Raw Women's title. I mean, Alexa will definitely give her one hell of an effort, but yeah, I don't see her losing the title here at the Royal Rumble. But I'm with Florio here. I think WrestleMania is where I think the run is going to come to an end. So, to who? Well, I'm sure we'll find out more. So Fletch, it is yours.
Yeah, going into this, I was thinking Alexa, but I've heard the same rumors too about Bianca going all the way to WrestleMania to being the champion and, getting the opportunity to defend the title and, getting to that 1 year reign. Obviously, I get it. I understand it. Do I believe she deserves it? Yeah, in a way she does. But I feel like with the Alexa Bliss, with the Uncle Howdy, with everything that's going on, that this would have been the perfect thing to do to let her have the moment and get the belt. Um, you know, but at the end of the day, I just don't know. I feel like it would make sense for her to win the title, but I get it. Would I be surprised if Bianca does win it? No, I don't. And I know a lot of people believe Bianca will win it and successfully defend. But I know there's a few out there that wants to see Alexa win the belt. I know there's a lot of people that would love to see Alexa Bliss once again the Raw Women's Champion, and maybe go full metamorphosis back into that Alexa that was along with the Uncle Howdy, the Bray Wyatt, all that stuff. I mean, I could see it, but I think this time around, I think the Uncle Howdy is actually going to cost Alexa the fight. And it's not because of, the one thing that where Uncle Howdy was there that actually helped Alexa the first time around on that Monday Night Raw. I think it's actually going to cost her this time around. So, yeah, I hate to say it, but initially going in, I was thinking, I think Alexa's got it. Now I'm starting to think the same thing like you guys. I don't think it's as cut and paste there or as clear cut as it used to be. So yeah, I'm with you guys. I believe it's gonna be winner and still champion Alexa Bliss. So nothing more to say. Next up, the big one, title on the line, as it will be Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens, the undisputed WWE Universal Championship on the line. Michael Bullock, you lead off on this. Who you got?
Yeah, this rivalry has definitely reached its boiling point, and yeah, and the last time we seen that at the Royal Rumble, which was back in 2021, where they basically were in the Thunderdome, but now you got them in front of the WWE Universe, so this definitely has a chance to be something good. But I think this is the easiest choice here. Winner and still the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, I got Roman. I think it's pretty obvious. I think it's pretty clear cut. This is a pretty easy call here too. Um, I do believe that Roman will successfully defend the title, and I think it's gonna be a good matchup. It's gonna be a great fight. I really got nothing more to say. I think Roman wins it all. So yeah, winner and still champion Roman Reigns. Anthony, it's yours.
Roman Reigns' record-breaking run as champion has often felt like it lost steam, only for inspiration to strike the writer's room and get a needed twist, such as Sami Zayn's emergence as a major player in the bloodline. Kevin Owens would be a great choice to end Roman's time as champion. However, WrestleMania overshadows every possible result in this match. Reigns is not going to drop the title ahead of WrestleMania. Owens will put up his usual blood and guts fight, but come up short, likely as a result of the bloodline's numbers simply being too much, even if Sami Zayn has a misstep that leaves the Tribal Chief fuming. Winner and still undisputed WWE Universal Champion, it is Roman Reigns. And now, MF, it's time for the double main event. The two matches that make this event what it's been for the last 36 years.
We are talking about the Royal Rumble matches, the men's and the women's. You guys already know the rules. If you're watching this for the first time and wondering what are we talking about with the Royal Rumble, here's how it goes. It starts out with two individuals in the Royal Rumble. Every 90 seconds thereafter, another superstar enters the ring according to the number they have drawn. That was the drawing would be done earlier that afternoon. Eliminations can occur at any time in the Rumble. When an individual is thrown over the top rope, both feet must touch the floor. The last person standing in that ring after all 30 competitors have entered will be declared the winner of the Royal Rumble, and he and she will receive a guaranteed championship match at WrestleMania. So the stakes are very high, to say the very least, and there's really nothing more to say. All right. So with that said, let's do it. And here it is. Royal Rumble. We're going to start on the women's side. And guys, it doesn't get any bigger than this one. The stakes are so high for this Royal Rumble for the women. And I got to say it. I think it's going to be a very incredible Rumble match. This is going to be an entire event. Obviously, the odds-on favorite and many people are saying Rhea Ripley is going to win this Rumble match. That was the prediction. That's the sentiment. That is the feeling. Everybody is thinking it's going to be Rhea Ripley. Obviously, no doubts. I'm not going to argue it. I think it will be Rhea winning the Royal Rumble. Now, could there be a surprise? Could there be a second person that, a person that's outside of that could possibly get the Rumble win? Well, maybe, just maybe, could they be looking at Liv Morgan? Now, Liv already has gone on and is pleading and begging and making a case for her to start the Rumble match, starting from the number one spot and going and try to win it all the way from there. Now, I will make this very honest. I think she will make it very far in the Royal Rumble. I, as a matter of fact, think she'll be the Iron Woman of this Rumble match that will give her her stock and will increase her odds of possibly becoming a big name in the Royal Rumble. That could propel her down the line to possibly win the SmackDown Women's title, maybe get the belt back at WrestleMania over Charlotte. We'll wait and see. But there is one other name that I want everybody to keep a very watchful eye on. Even though I don't think she's going to win it, but she is, I believe, the SmackDown's best chance of winning the Royal Rumble. Big Mommy Cool herself, Raquel Rodriguez. I believe Raquel is going to do very well in this Royal Rumble match. I could see her in the final four in this Royal Rumble. I think she could be there at the end. That could be fighting for the right to get to WrestleMania, but I think ultimately she will not win at all. I believe when it's all said and done, I do have Rhea Ripley, just like the experts have it, just like everybody, every dirt sheet predictor. I think everybody is going to say it will be Rhea Ripley winning the Royal Rumble, the Women's Royal Rumble. With that said, Anthony Florio, give me your thoughts and your official prediction.
Well, MF, I'll tell you, of the two Royal Rumbles, the field for the women's match seems more wide open. Having two women's championships means there are a variety of different directions WWE could go in. Ronda Rousey winning her second straight Rumble and challenging Bianca Belair at WrestleMania would give WWE a fresh main event matchup for the women's division. WWE, I agree, could also use the Rumble to elevate Raquel Rodriguez into stardom. Becky Lynch and Bayley are both reliable choices who WWE could trust to headline WrestleMania. A returning Asuka could also be a viable option to face either Belair or SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair. However, your mileage may vary on the Judgment Day, but Rhea Ripley has been a standout for the group. Her mommy shtick with Dominic Mysterio is amusing. She can certainly hold her own between the ropes. And I believe she's been positioned as something of a modern-day Chyna, an enforcer that can topple anyone on the roster, man or woman. Ripley's talent was overshadowed by poor booking for far too long. Her almost cartoonish villainy and comparative power make her a perfect foil for the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, a champion in need of a new challenge as WrestleMania season approaches. Ripley is the right choice to win. This is her time to ascend to the next level. So, MF, I agree 100%. My winner of the 2023 Women's Royal Rumble match, Rhea Ripley. So, I see we lost Bullock. I don't know if he's done for the night or if...
I'm pretty sure he's probably going to be done.
But if he comes back in, we'll be sure to give it to him. But we'll definitely be sure to give it to him. But MF, I'm right there with you. I got Rhea Ripley also winning the Women's Royal Rumble match, and I think it'll be her. The MF. Let's be honest. The big money match in the women's division in WWE is Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. There is no doubt.
Actually, I stand corrected. There's Michael Bullock.
Okay, there we go. All right, Bullock. Yep. MF and I, we both have Rhea Ripley winning the Women's Royal Rumble. Are we again going to make it unanimous, or do you have somebody, or do you have another woman winning this thing?
I'm going to make it unanimous. I'm going with Rhea Ripley to win this one. I mean, And I'm sure, like you said, Florio, I think she's going to be the one to challenge Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. And I think that Rhea is going to be the one to end the reign of Bianca Belair. And can you imagine this, Rhea holding the the Raw Women's title after WrestleMania and that being part of the Judgment Day?
She's held it before, but it would be even bigger.
Yeah, and if that's the case, all I can say is good luck to any woman on Monday Night Raw to take it from her, because not only are you dealing with Rhea Ripley, you're dealing with Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio. So, yeah, so I'm going with Rhea Ripley. Let's get to the men's one, Fletch.
All right, the men's Royal Rumble match, and it will be started by Anthony Florio. So, Anthony, who you got? Who do you think the men's Royal Rumble winner will be?
Outside of Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn, there aren't many good candidates to win this match. Seth Rollins is consistently awesome and could be rewarded for all the unselfish work he did over the last year. But a Reigns versus Rollins WrestleMania main event does not feel like the direction WWE is going in. Brock Lesnar is busy feuding with Bobby Lashley and should not face Reigns again for a long time, or maybe even ever. Gunther should have a strong showing in the Rumble, but I don't think he's a WrestleMania main eventer just yet. Cody Rhodes should win the Royal Rumble and go on to headline WrestleMania. It's the most obvious choice. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes will be an incredible WrestleMania main event. The promos building to the match would probably be even better. Cody Rhodes took a risk when he bet on himself and decided to return to WWE after he was literally one of the many responsible for AEW. These are the moments he was hoping for when he made that decision to leave AEW and go back to WWE. With all due respect, it might be best to leave Sami Zayn out of this match entirely if he's not going to win. You honestly don't want fans to pit Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn against each other. There's enough room for both of them to have all-time great WrestleMania moments this year. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens reuniting to finally dethrone the Usos for the tag team championships at WrestleMania would be iconic. The Sami and Kevin show, the Yep movement. We all remember that. And the Royal Rumble is always interesting because every entrant is exciting in their own way, but so very few people in the match have a legitimate shot of winning. Still, it remains one of the most entertaining events in all of wrestling because of the variety of personalities and interactions in the mix. I mean, some people think that Sami should win because the story of the bloodline has become very compelling again, and Sami Zayn, not Roman Reigns, is the reason why. But I don't know that WWE higher-ups would view Zayn as someone they want main eventing WrestleMania. There is, of course, the usual buzz that The Rock could return, win, and face Roman at the biggest show of the year, but it just feels as though the most realistic option is Cody Rhodes as the last man standing. His return to WWE was so focused on his need to win the belt that his father, the late great American Dream Dusty Rhodes, never held. And then everything was derailed by that injury. But that injury only built his story and grew the Cody Rhodes mythology when he faced Seth Rollins inside Hell in a Cell last June with his chest a grotesque purple hue. Yeesh. All the video packages ahead of his return have focused on getting his redemption, and it only makes sense for that return to see him triumph in the Rumble. Now, they can still do Sami and Roman, but I think that's going to happen next month at the Elimination Chamber in Sami's hometown of Montreal. That's how I feel about it. But that storyline deserves even more. And this is the argument that you can make for Sami to win. The bloodline angle is lightning in a bottle. Sami deserves to have his crowning moment. And we all know WWE has heavily promoted Cody Rhodes ahead of his Rumble return, making him the favorite and opening the door for great misdirection. Sami could and should win the Rumble, team with his estranged best friend Kevin Owens at the Elimination Chamber, and win the Undisputed Championship in an all-time WrestleMania moment against Reigns, which would make for a fantastic underdog story and maybe the best one since maybe Daniel Bryan or maybe even Kofi Kingston, for goodness sakes. But it could be Kofi Mania all over again with Sami. I don't know. But I've been saying it for the last couple of weeks since his return was announced. I am not backtracking. I'm going with my gut once again. My gut is Cody Rhodes wins the Royal Rumble. My heart, however, says Sammy, but it's got to be Cody. It has to be. So for me, the winner of the 2023 Men's Royal Rumble match, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. He wins the Rumble, and then at WrestleMania, finally ends the reign of terror of the Tribal Chief. Michael Bullock, it's all yours.
Yeah, I'm with you, Florio. I got Cody Rhodes winning this one as well. I mean, yeah, you pretty much said everything. So, Fletch, take it home.
Cody wins Rumble. There's no doubt about it, unless there's a big surprise. But I think Cody is the safest bet, and he will probably go after the WWE Championship and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So there's really nothing more to add. Guys, we're out of here. We're done. Sunday night, very special edition of Talking Wrestling TXN, the recap of the Royal Rumble event, 10:30 Eastern, right here on BraceFan 95. We'll have Florio. We'll have Bullock, hopefully. You'll have me here. We're going to recap everything about the Royal Rumble on that as well. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys on Sunday night. And until then, it's time to rumble. The road to WrestleMania begins tomorrow night.
San Antone, here we come. Goodbye.